think you know I've been working on this for a while, and I can't believe I got to be 40 years old and this is still a problem for me. But I call it standing up tall in the truth. And I went on a retreat, and the leader of the retreat said, you know, you got to learn to stand up tall in your truth. And I have to tell you, it goes in and out of focus for me. Like, I'll be good at it for a while, because there is a gift to doing it compassionately or lovingly and not out of anger. But it's so much easier for me to just bury my truth. You know, it's just, I don't feel like I'm hurting people that way. And so practicing and getting better at standing up tall in my truth.
I always want to have my voice. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean whatever it is I need to say with love and courage. And I go in and out as well, but I forgive myself when I go out because I use that as a chance to learn. Mm-hmm. But it is something that I'm in process on. The other is that I tend not to pay attention to my health. So spiritually, emotionally, mentally, I can be incredibly disciplined and focused. But when it comes to integrating the physical part, like being healthy, it's where I have a huge gap. And I've been in process trying to understand what's up with that. Yeah. Like, why would somebody who loves themselves and loves their family make that choice? And so it's not something I want to change, because I don't want to act like there's something wrong with me, but I'm curious about that part of my journey.
Right. It's interesting, that's important, because you can't be as spiritual as you'd like to be, probably, without being healthy also.
Yeah,
right? It's
exactly.
So, right.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, there's hope for me.
Because a lot of people can't get the spiritual part. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the body, mind, spirit, right?
Yeah.
And if we're just focusing on two of those and not the last, whatever that last one is for each of us, then we're not whole and balanced.
Exactly.
And I have found the same thing. I will tend to focus on one or two of those things and let another thing slide, and then something in my life will happen that will bring me back to the fact that, no, you have to be focused on all three of those things in your life.
I tend to have a lot of things in my mind, and I don't have the courage to say them. And I don't know why, so I think I need to work on that.
You would change that?
I want to be able to express my thoughts in a loving, nice way, but I just don't seem to be able to. I've got all the stuff in my mind. I can argue it in my mind. I can justify it in my mind, but I just can't get it out and prove my point.
Is it about confrontation?
Yeah, I'm not confrontational whatsoever.
Yeah.
But even if it's something that's black and white, I can't seem to just get it out and say, well, no, that's really wrong.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing.
Right, right. Finding that path to, you know, it's I think multi-step. It's first of all finding the courage to say it, and then the courage to be with it once it's said. In other words, sometimes it's that person's problem then, you know,
And step away.
and just letting that be okay. That you're not normally the person who says this, and you finally did. They're going to be like, what? You know. So yeah, I mean, there's like a multi-step process with it. So.
And it's hard to not put the other person on the defense. And there's such a balance of letting them, you know, believe in whatever it is that they believe in and being able to express it yourself. A lot of times there's just, with most people you can't do that. I mean, where there's a select few that you can disagree with them and it's okay. You know, it's like, you know, the person that I admire, you could be who you are, but that's not true with the majority of the people that you interact with every day.
And for me, it's being really conscious, because I've struggled with that in my life too, of word choice that I use. And I'm finding that if I use it in terms of this is my feelings or my experience, rather than saying you need to stop this or do this, or you know, that helps.
Yeah, but don't you have a lot of people that really want you to feel the way they do?
Oh,
they don't
yes,
want, they don't
definitely.
Want you, they don't want you to be on the other side of the fence.
Yes,
they,
definitely.
And
see, here's what I think is great about getting older, is the point where concern consequences. I'm finding as I get older, you know, I think the oldest among this group, you know, there's a point at which you realize life's too precious not to speak your truth, and certain things that may have concerned you in the past. You know, at least that's my my hope.
I do think that that's a gift of getting older. I do think that they're, you know, I don't want to be that 80-year-old woman who's just a crappy, opinionated, you know, whatever. But I think that there is a joy to saying, well, you know what, you know, I'm ready to speak my truth or whatever, yeah.
Because it seems like as you get older also, you get to be more the way you are, right? So if you're not confrontational now, if you don't work on it, as you get older, you tend to be a lot more that way. And people who are confrontational are more confrontational
That's
as
a
they
good
get
one.
older.
But I think
So-
it even helps not to term it as confrontational, because then we're setting it up as it's
Adversarial.
got a built-in negative
Right,
there.
yeah, I didn't really
Well,
mean
no,
that.
no, I know you didn't,
Right.
but that's was just like to bring light to the point that I was just saying before, the word choice, even on how we
Yeah.
think about what we're doing. Because if we think speaking our truth is confrontational, then it's harder to start speaking our
Do
truth.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, what is my truth?
Right.
And letting that come.
Yeah.
And you don't have control over other people's response to that, but you do have control over how you speak that.